Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the layout, here with an update. It's been a while, but we'll just dive right in and catch y'all up. In front of you, the work I have done includes this entire cliff face back here. Behind that is plaster cloth, and supporting all of it is the Woodland Scenics shaper sheet. The technique I use to make my rock faces now is Duram's water putty and then tinfoil molds that I crumple up and shape. So I think it's turned out really good. I like this method, definitely the best. And then I use Woodland Scenics rock coloring kits to paint it all. And then I've added some talus to the side here, and then clearly ballast for the track. And then the white, this is going to be a very snowy scene, so I just left all that white for when I do the snow flock. And then there's also a newly constructed SP style snow shed. I didn't like the concrete mock-up that I did. Granted, it was a mock-up, so this one's nice because you can see the rolling stock and the engines and everything going through the actual snow shed. It needs a roof, but it's all scratch built. I looked at Jimbo Slice's. He didn't build it, but he bought it, and I took, screenshots of his video and then looked up real SP snow sheds, so this is what I came up with. Hand painted, put together with wood glue. Looks really nice. And then I did some work to do the concrete wall / abutment. It's been repainted, and then I brought the rock right down. That's also removable right now. See if I actually keep it removable. But it's looking good so far. Like I said, need a roof. And then here I have added ballast, talus, and signals. These are the BLMA signal searchlight signals, each one protecting each main. For the other side, I was going to use this BLMA bridge and have it just kind of like right here. And then that control point will have all BLMA signals. And then continuing on with the ballast, I don't think I've done any work on this industry. It's just kind of storing stuff on the roof. So more rocks and ballast, rocks and ballast, rocks and ballast. General Electric building's still there. That background building is still there, whatever it is. And then we've continued on with the ballast, major theme, right? Ballast. And then what I did a couple months ago is what I started, and it all ended up failing and I had to redo it. But anyway, so I've started making control panels for the switches. It gives you, the layout diagram and each switch number, and then a corresponding toggle switch. This was kind of the cleanest and neatest way I could figure out how to do it. So far I liked it a lot. It was installed, but there's a bug with one of the Switch 8 Mark IIs where it doesn't respond to the button board for some stupid reason. So I was flipping them back and forth. I opened a ticket with NCE. They wanted me to send the Switch 8 back in, so I bought another Switch 8, which I'm going to program and then send back the buggy one to them. And then another thing that happened was the computer I was using for JMRI, it was a MacBook. Essentially it doesn't work anymore. So because I kind of got tired of recreating JMRI every time I did an update on the computer or had to switch computers or whatever, I got a dedicated computer, gasp, for the layout, and it is a Raspberry Pi. Me being a, somewhat computer nerd, I figured I'd go with this. It's a very nice little computer. It'll be dedicated for JMRI. I did configure JMRI up, pretty much in its entirety once on this, and then something in JMRI got corrupted. So I put it down for a few months, and then today I've been rebuilding the layout diagram, putting in the blocks, and, the signal controls. So that's so far working. I've also been messing around with getting the ribbon cables and signals. That has been loads of fun. Then we just come back over to the layout. I've scratch built, or I've taken an Atlas roundhouse kit, the one I didn't sell, and then I'm making it into a background building. So I took the two sides, mated them together right there, and then I think I'm going to use these to make another, or just extend it a little more. It's airbrushed, and I put a nice like sand colored wash on it to imitate the brick and mortar effect. And then continuing on with the signals, I've installed, or I've decided to install, and I've placed the Atlas G-type signals dedicated for the Y. So there's a single head here, which will control this leg on, and that leg if you're coming in from this direction. Then there's the double header, which will control, you know, this and these leg, and then this one over here will control this leg going all the way through here. And then there'd just be another signal over there. All of this would be controlled by this control tower. Just to, you know, make the control tower useful and whatever. Since these are, you know, they're common cathode and everything else, the industry standards anode, that might be reversed. But, so these are going to have to be their own little decoders, not on the SE8C. So I'm still figuring that out. And then back here, we have the BLMA signal bridge. I think this is the Santa Fe style. So I've pretty much finished building it. I'm going to see if I can get some like plating for the top here to make it look a little bit more realistic, and I need to put in a ladder. I also added this is an aluminum tube which takes the magnet wire all the way up to the top, and then the wires just run through the tubes there. So that's looking good. And then the BLMA double head signal is very hard to see because it's silver on gray, but it's right there at the end of my finger. The town hasn't changed too much. I'm working on the grade crossing. As you can see, I haven't gotten very far. It's I think it's a Bar Mills wood grade crossing. So coming over here, I decided to add a background structure right here. Let me see if I can get some light on it without making it look too ugly. So this is the Wathers commissary kit. It's just something a local hobby shop had. And I decided it would probably fit here, and it almost did. I needed to pull up this track here and then just move it over. I was able to build this in one day, which for me is impressive, and I was also able to put all the pieces on in one day. Again, impressive. Usually it takes like a couple weeks. But the brick is spray painted. I have several shades of red that I just mixed together until it's something different. And then this little roof right here is actually just hand painted rust color. It was gray. The concrete is brush painted concrete. The little metal plating for the corner, little straight bit, that's brush painted. The windows are airbrushed. The concrete details are brush painted. I was actually very impressed with myself. If you get the right brush, it's actually not too terribly hard to brush paint details on structures, but for me it was a first, and then this was also the first kit I did a brick wash on, like that Atlas model I modified to be a background structure. So I still need to get the track, whoopsies, glued back down, and then once that's done, that scene will look pretty good. Got to reballast.